Hello everyone, thanks for joining us again. As you know, I'm Sagar Raich, owner of Raich Law, a business law firm in Las Vegas, Nevada that serves their clients in Nevada, California, and other states. I'd like to chat with you today about resolving potential partnership disputes, short of and without going to court. It's very, very important in partnership disputes to really kind of go back to the beginning to see what documents have been signed. Based on those, a lawyer, any lawyer, whether it's a lawyer for you or whether it's a lawyer for one of your partners, or even if it's a third-party attorney who might be having some sort of a claim in your dispute, whether it's a vendor that's owed money or other people, a lot of times a lawyer for partners will usually look at the documents to see what the obligations are. Is one partner owing the other partner certain duties? Is one partner more responsible for a third party like a landlord, let's say a lease that was personally guaranteed? Is one partner more involved in doing the taxes and finances, whereas the other is involved in operations? The structure of the business is really governed by the initial documents. A lot of times you might not have these initial documents, and that's okay. A lawyer can still help you and work with you through the process. But I want to focus today's video on really some of the tools and techniques you can use to try to resolve the partnership dispute short of going to court. Lawsuits are generally expensive in nature, and I think most attorneys will agree with that. If an issue can be resolved without going to court, it's certainly recommended to do that. Now, a law firm like ours, we're in court all the time, state and federal courts in multiple states. So we are very aggressive lawyers. We can do litigation. But litigation might not be the right fit for you and your aim, because your needs might be more focused on, hey, look, let me get out of this business, or let me try to resolve this small dispute. I don't want to necessarily get rid of the whole business. I don't want to sell the business. I don't want to break it up. And so some of the tools and techniques you can use in resolving pre-litigation issues or issues before a lawsuit include things like internal negotiation. You'd be surprised how many times attorneys ask clients, have you just talked to your partner? And the answer is usually, I haven't talked to him or her exactly about this issue, and sometimes it might be very useful to do that. A lot of times parties can resolve the issues between themselves without necessarily needing a third party like a lawyer, a judge, arbitrator, mediator, and so on. If, however, you've tried to talk to your partner and it just unfortunately hasn't worked out, the next step is really to see if there is some sort of mediation that can take place. A mediator is basically a third party that both of you, or if multiple partners, that all of you can trust to really try to see if there's a middle ground to be had between the issues and the disputes. A mediator can be a lawyer, but it doesn't have to be. It could be somebody that all of you trust that can essentially not necessarily help you make the right decision, but ask you what you want, ask the other side what they want, and really try to get the parties closer together. A good mediator will usually kind of point out faults in both sides, and will kind of point out why both sides are right to each other. Again, the mediator is not a decision maker generally. They're not going to make a decision for you. They're not going to say you're right and you're wrong, or he's right or she's right, or she's right or she's wrong. They're not going to do that. That is really the next step. If the mediation fails, the parties can also do what's called an arbitration. An arbitration is kind of like a mediation, but there's still a third party, except in this case, they're not necessarily going from room to room trying to see if they can work out a solution. They're essentially kind of like a de facto judge without being in the courtroom. They're a decision maker. One side will submit its claims, the other side will submit its claims, and the arbitrator will make a decision on the merits of both sides' cases. Who's right and who's wrong based on the documentation, based on the evidence provided, and so on. Arbitrators are usually private arbitrators. There are lots of companies that do this, and you can certainly undertake an arbitration. For arbitration, it is recommended to have an attorney because there are some procedural requirements that must be met to make sure that the arbitration is done correctly. But if for any reason the arbitration is not the right fit, or if both parties don't agree to either arbitration or mediation, at that point, unfortunately, you'll probably need to get an attorney for sure. The very first step that most attorneys will do is look at all the evidence that you do have, see what is going on, see what the issue is. Then they'll usually recommend a demand letter, a pre-litigation way of saying, hey, look, you, the other partner, is on notice that based on your actions or inactions, our client is entitled to X, Y, and Z. Rather than this going to court, let's resolve it in this way, 1, 2, 3. And the settlement demand, the legal demand, will have certain terms that the both parties will agree to in a potential settlement. If the other side gets an attorney or doesn't get an attorney but wants to agree to the settlement, The parties can then sign a settlement agreement and go about their business. In other cases, and in extreme cases, the dispute may be so bad, but the parties say, look, we don't want to necessarily go to court and fight the lawsuit out, but we can be in business with each other. At that point, a law firm can help, and we've done this many times for our clients, we can help you really figure out what the best strategy would be for the business and for your interest. Does it make sense to get a third party in to buy you out? Does it make sense to have a third party buy the partner out? Does it make sense for you and the partner to say, look, let's just sell this business outright? Or in the worst case scenario, does it make sense to close the business down? So there are lots of calculations and lots of variables in play here, both legally and financially, that a law firm should be able to help you with. We've done this many times for our clients, and we'll be happy to help you. Our consultations are free. You can always reach out to us. If you do need help, feel free to give us a call at 702-758-4240 or reach us at rachattorneys.com. Thank you so much, and I hope today's video was useful to you.